Welcome back to another episode of Figuring Out. And in today's episode, I sat down with one of my friends who I consider my mentor because he talks some simple stuff but really makes you think and believe about what to do next and how to build $1 million or $1 billion company because it's all about fundamentals. Now, we talked a lot about how to build a company in college, how to build connection in college so that you later on in your life, when you start your own company, you get the investments right. How, if you're from a small town, how can you build something so big that the entire country celebrates you? How to get into Forbes 30 under 30, and at the same time, how can you find your USP so that you fight in the most competitive space and still be able or manage to become one of the biggest in India, in fact, Asia now. Also, we talked about which industry does this guy feel is going to have the next $1 billion rush. And this guy is hanging out with the top of the top people. This guy is in the Forbes 30 under 30, and this guy has raised investment from the top guys. So you can imagine this person knows something about investment, entrepreneurship, and starting out young because he's only 27. You better not miss out on this episode because this is one of the best episodes I've recorded in the history of figuring out. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Finally, Apaksh Gupta is with us, ladies and gentlemen. हम लोग ये ट्राई कर रहे हैं since last I don't know how many months. Pandemic के start से. Yeah, pandemic. From
Maybe
the
4 or 5 months. Yeah, I
yeah,
know. Because
because
it's been a while.
in the beginning I wanted to get Apaksh on live on Instagram, but then because Apaksh पैसा कमाने में बहुत busy था pandemic के through, so we couldn't get him. But finally he's here. Welcome on Figuring Out with Raj Shamani. How you doing?
Very well. Thanks, Raj. Thanks for having me here. So good to have you. It's great chatting with you, buddy, and thanks for having me.
Yes, yes. Actually, I wanted to have this conversation first time on the live so that जितना हम आज तक बात कर चुके हैं ना वो भी सब आता. But
नहीं तो
unfortunately,
आज दोबारा
unfortunately.
factor कर I'm happy to again go through the same story on how we've really built out the business, and it's always interesting to talk about what we're doing.
Exactly. So we are just going to talk everything about how did you figure out to reach where you are today, because as far as I understand, okay, is जितना मैं तुझसे बात करता हूँ, okay, I know that you're a goddamn genius. Absolutely no. One. Number two, तू बहुत चीज़ें कर रहा है which is way beyond the reach of a 27-year-old. That's number two. And number three, still I feel that you are a regular 27-year-old, और when you just started, मतलब तुझसे बात करके बहुत ऐसे अपना देसी टाइप फीलिंग आता है कि यार अपना लौंडा है, लाइक क्या है like the basic feel, that feeling. And how are you that basic? And I remember that you told me that you were an engineering student in Punjab itself and you belong from a small city. So from there, let's just start from there कि कैसे सब start हुआ, how did you start your entrepreneurial venture and what was it? Let's go back to your college days. एकदम beginning, like did you want to become an entrepreneur before you wanted to, like before you were in college कि
So I'll tell you how my journey.
like ये thought कब आया कि entrepreneur बनना है that way?
तो मेरे केस में ना थोड़ा ऐसे यूनिक था. आई कम फ्रॉम अ बिजनेस फैमिली. तो आई वेंट इनटू engineering because I wanted to start a DLF competitor. In all honesty, like my thought process was, let's do civil engineering and set up like a real estate set up like a large enterprise there, which is why I went into civil engineering. Obviously I was a lot younger then, but it was never a question as to whether I want to be an entrepreneur. I think you could name it an entrepreneur, a businessman, whatever you'd want to name it. The vocabulary can change with evolve with time and can become fancier. But
Yeah.
the basics were I wanted to do something of my own, and that was literally clear from before I even stepped into college. And I think college just shaped up what I wanted to do. So I went into civil by choice, but
Okay.
it's
Were you a good student?
I was the worst student. Yeah, so I was just speaking to my college. My college just completed 100 years, so they were interviewing
Okay.
me and they're asking, "So did you ever get bad grades?" I was like, "I never got a B grade. Like C's and D's is what I mostly played around with." And there were times I was struggling for a D. So, not again, not saying that it's a great thing to do. It works differently for everyone,
Yeah.
but I was just not a guy who wanted to
Okay.
be in.
See,
I just wanted to go out and do something.
That's like that was primarily clear since you were, I mean, probably ninth, 10th or 11th, since the time you actually started dreaming कि कुछ करना पड़ेगा खुद का, and since that time you were very clear कि मुझे I want to get into business world or entrepreneurship or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, so I think this was very clear that I wanted to do something of my own.
hmm
The bigger transformation was what I
Okay.
thought it'll be real estate, but once I
Hmm.
went in, I think Social Network, the movie, did a lot of magic for me because I
Yeah.
remember seeing it with a bunch of my friends coming out of the theater and one of my friends saying, "Bro, ये तो हम कभी भी नहीं कर सकते." I was like, "Dude, मतलब talk about yourself because this seems to be my story for me. Like this is happening for me for sure." And yeah, and I was always onto something else. So I was trying to collaborate with friends at IIT Delhi,
Hmm.
start a business. We spent 6 months. It didn't work out.
इतना तेज नहीं जाना, इतना तेज नहीं जाना. We will get it very slowly to the thought process कि how social network and all of that. But before we get to the crux of it, I want to understand. Okay, I want to understand कि so doing business was an option just because you were from a business family, or was it an option कि मैं पढ़ाई लिखाई में ज़्यादा कुछ कर नहीं पा रहा हूँ, इसकी वजह से आई एम श्योर दैट आई वांट टू हैव अ बिजनेस, मेरे जॉब हो नहीं पाएगा, और इट वाज जस्ट द फैमिली थिंग कि बचपन से देखा है मॉम डैड ग्रैंडफादर सबको. व्हाट वाज इट लाइक, व्हाई वांटेड यू वांट लाइक व्हाई यू वांटेड टू बिकम गेट इनटू बिजनेस?
Always like the top three in class before until school. So, matlab, studies was never really a
Problem.
problem. Like I was always really good at it.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
I think it was always just like I was brought up in a culture जहाँ पे it was never an option. Like it was never an option that you have to think about a job or working somewhere. It
True.
was always ingrained from a from my very childhood that hey, you should do something of your own. The question just was, will I do something with in my family's business, or will
Yeah.
I uh,
Yeah.
go start my thing?
And why did you not go for family business?
So yeah, so it's just my dad has a huge paper trading house in distribution center. It's large in North India, but it's just something that does not excite me at all. It's just a bunch of paper going here and there. I again, it's just my mind doesn't relate to it at all.
Yeah.
Serving paper to the world, and especially when we're all going digital. So yeah, just not my
Yeah.
thing. Plus I think I wanted to explore, right? Like I think one of the entrepreneurs said that you know what you know what you don't know, but you
Yeah.
don't know what you don't know, and the magic happens in what you don't know what you don't know. So I was trying to figure out what I don't know,
Okay.
learn that, build something there, and I think that's where the magic happened.
That's where it happened, and it happened in college. Okay, now we're going to the college part. Now we understood that you went in a theater with your friends to watch The Social Network, and then
Correct.
and then what happened? Carry on.
It was just something, right? Like I relate to that movie a lot. I wish I could again be like 19 and try to do it all over again because I still feel really old in where I am. I
Shut up.
wish I was like no, I really, I mean, my younger brother, who's my co-founder, he's 23.
Okay.
And I feel so excited that, he's running a large setup and it's growing and he's just 23. And I was like, dude, like that's precisely what I wanted to do. So I'm still trying to live from his eyes because I still feel like by 27, I want to do a lot more. Uh, but yeah, I think that movie to me was very relatable into what you could become by hustling this by trying
Yep.
different things by experiments. I did bunch of experiments in my college life. Like I wrote 2 research papers internationally, we won awards for. Went about like leading a college fest, which became like a
Wow.
crore rupee fest from a 30 lakh rupee fest in just about a year. And some of my early investors today,
Hmm.
in one impression, actually were my sponsors during my college fest. So the relationships really go.
Started from there. So it all started from you trying to raise funds for college event. Okay.
Correct.
Now there's an important lesson. Okay, like now there's an important lesson I want to understand. Ki you knew that you want to get into business world. You didn't know, like you were clear that you don't want to do a family business. And now you didn't know what. कि अब social network से inspire तो हो गए, अब करना क्या है? You have no clue. So just to get the vibe of it, you went to your college authorities and be like, okay, I want to organize this fest and I'll be in the sponsorship era. Because that's where you thought कि कुछ grooming हो सकती है, कुछ हो सकता है, right? Like, or maybe it was just for
So
fun.
yeah, no. So thought was I was always up to something. Like I'm not. I just can't sit idle. My.
There was always like the leadership inside you, like the leadership quality. The leader in you didn't let you stop.
Friends know me. The people who know me, they know like I'm always high on energy. Like a lot of people ask me, are you always on cocaine or something? Because I'm always like full of energy and wherever I'm going. So I have to do something. I can't sit idle. So I just the first thing I did was in second year of my college was an international project. Won an international award there. It was huge.
Wow.
At least from that, at that point of time, it seemed huge. Then I think third year was again college fest. So always participated in that. But yeah.
And which team were you in?
So I was the co-convener. I was largely, there was a convener who used to head the fest and the co-convener who used to be like the VP. You could if.
Okay, but what was your major role? I mean, VP. I understand.
I was overseeing that entire fest, right? I was not into just sponsorship. I was just overseeing the entire thing. But so for me, the fest in the sense was interesting because I was hustling to scale it, right? It was a small fest. Nobody was excited about it. From a lot of years, it was doing okay. No sponsors in the city were excited to be a part of it. No large performers wanted to come because it was okay. The brand had built its reputation that way. So we literally turned around in just about 44-day cycle and made it into a 3x bigger thing with footfalls that we'd never seen. And again, investors whose relationships vested so deep and strong and who were so happy with us that those sponsors became investors today. And I've again gone ahead and invested in one of my investors' company now.
Now the relationship very, very deep, very deep. And what did you? So now coming to the part, like you told me that you were trying to experiment with one of your friends who was in Delhi IIT. What was that experiment about? Kya tha wo?
So there's I don't know if you heard of Meetup.com. I think now it's become a little older and it didn't work out. But at that point of time, 2012, it was a rage in the US. It was something that had just come up where people could set up events and meet people. And I think at that point of time, I was really trying to build something that was around people catching up, being able to meet around interest-based events. And so I one of my friends, he was in computer science IIT Delhi. We used to catch up very, very often, every 2-3 weeks, and try to figure out building that for India, but a more advanced version. I think.
And what was the name?
Sure. It was called Browseboard. What we named it here, but essentially the name was you could browse right on the board on the kind of people you wanted to meet. That was the intent, but it never really floated properly. I think we were too immature. We spent too much time thinking. I think a very first time entrepreneur thing that most of us do, that very less execution, very lot of talking and thinking. So I think we wasted months there. We would have rather gone ahead and executed something on ground. We never did that. But again, the journey started there, right? Like I was okay with that failure of investing 6 months, going to Delhi from Chandigarh, meeting him, talking about it so many times and never getting anywhere and then getting on to the next thing.
True, and it like for 6 months you invested your time, your money, your energy. So how much money did you burn out there?
Yeah, I think back then money was, I didn't used to have so much money either, but it was mostly just traveling, right? Like it was mostly just.
Still, like there would be some amount, so that I want to give perspective to people who are listening. कि कितना था कि first failure में how much did you waste?
40,000 of travel money maybe is what I would have wasted over the course of 6 months. I wouldn't call it wasted. I think it's a very wrong word. Sorry.
Yeah. You invested.
And sort of was a better money for me to get
True.
educated about entrepreneurship than I would have got learned in any other way.
True.
So yeah, but that's
40,000 tops was the first time you lost it. Yeah. Oh, nice. And now, that from there on, ऐसा क्या कर दिया, ऐसा क्या सीखा कि which gave the idea to your current business or current startup, which got you to Forbes 30 under 30. I mean, that's incredible. That's like one of the dreams of entrepreneurs in India and in fact worldwide. Like they want to get listed under Forbes 30 under 30. So what was the different? First, let's just give everybody perspective ki what did you start? What is One Impressions? You are the founder of One Impressions. So what is that?
So I think let me just we've skipped a large part of the journey that actually got me to One Impression. So I'll just
Okay.
uh,
Let's go
very
back to
quickly
that
run
part.
me.
That
No, I'll
I want to
okay,
understand.
so let's just skip college. So college happened. 29th May I remember was my last day at college. 1st June I came to Delhi. The first thing that we had in mind broadly with two of my childhood friends from school was to set up a restaurant. It was thought of कि यार ऐसा setup कर लेते हैं that it'll become like a source of income for us, so we can run ourselves and have a decent lifestyle and then figure out what other larger things to do in life.
Yeah.
One of my friends was a restaurateur, the other was came from a more political background, and we three got together and we sort of set up
बिजनेस माइंड साथ में, रेस्टोरेंट का एक्सपीरियंस साथ में, और कुछ लफड़ा हुआ तो पॉलिटिक्स भी साथ में. Like this with
so ऐसा so this was the thought process precisely.
Yeah.
So we pulled in money. We pulled between three of us, we pulled in about like 60 lakhs, 20 lakhs each, and we came to Delhi and we were like चलो let's figure out कि क्या करना है. And तो घूमने लग गए दिल्ली, काफी टाइम स्पेंड करा, सब ऐसे रेकी कर रहे थे कि कौन से एरिया में क्या करना है. आई थिंक back then again it wasn't the thinking of a business model कैसे बनते हैं या scale कैसे होता है, उतनी तो समझ ही नहीं थी. It was just कि let's set up a nice cafe, right? Like very basic fundamental thinking that you could get. And I think so again I think October 19th is when the restaurant got live. So between June 1 to October 19th we had figured out where to start something. We had constructed it in about a decent amount of time. We invested those 50 lakh rupees on construction, got a designer, did the whole thing, got the kitchen equipment, got the licenses, and by October 19th it was up and running with a decent size of money going in. It was really fast. Like if you think about it, that June 2 you're in Delhi, you don't know what to do, where to do. Are you doing a Chinese restaurant or a cafe, or are you doing something else? And back then there was no concept of cloud kitchens in a big way. Like Zomato was still early days in 2014. So
this is 2014.
I think, this is 2014. 2014 is when I graduated, and right away I came to Delhi, and 2000 October is when I set up the restaurant. And I think so we became profitable. We were doing fine. I think one of the things that I learned over time, so because of various things, that we all three couldn't invest time. It was doing fine but consumed too much energy. I didn't see it making more than 5 lakhs a month, and I was like, I've worked too hard in my life to just earn 5 lakhs a month, and it's not scaling up. So this is not what I wanted to do. If I wanted to earn just 5 lakhs a month, I would rather just go about my dad's business and chill and do it. So I wanted to do something that could create a large impact, and technology was always the space, and restaurant was consuming too much time. So we just ended up getting acquired by a larger chain, made decent, it was a decent exit.
What was the restaurant's name? I'm interested now.
So it was called Smugglers. It was named after my dog. It was in Hudson Lane. It's in North Delhi. Any DU student would know the area. So it was North Campus, essentially, DU. And it was like one of the more fancy places constructed for North Delhi students at yet affordable prices, which was the whole thought process. I think in hindsight, I would have done things very, very differently on how I invested in infrastructure, how much money we really needed, what could have scaled, what could have not. It would probably have been a cloud kitchen rather than really a restaurant. But I think that gave me a lot of perspective and learning as to how we invested money. but we're
Yeah.
not able to scale. What were we not doing right? Why was it just like a traditional business? So from there,
So
jumped
this
into
was
So this was profitable. Like first venture was non-profitable. You lost 40-50,000 rupees, and this was the profitable one where you invested money, you invested time, you invested everything, but got a decent exit. And you exited because you thought कि even if I am making profit, ये मेरे लिए नहीं है because this is not expanding. Like I cannot scale it.
so this couldn't scale, right? Like the idea
Yeah.
is ki for like it was unprofitable for me in the sense that the amount of time and effort that I was giving versus the output was too low. And
low.
I mean,
Yeah.
I already like I rather felt like there were, and there was no vision to it. It was just supposed to be a restaurant, and with that intent, it wasn't something that
You wanted to do. Yeah. And how old were you?
I was 21. I think in October I turned 22.
Wow. I love this. I love this story already because there's a 21-year-old guy who started his entrepreneur venture, a restaurant in one of the coolest cities, in front of the coolest campus, and having an infrastructure, is making money, is profitable, and still not happy. Like I I like this story already. Now, where does it go from here?
Yeah, so from there I jumped into, again catching up with the same old friend, he who was in IIT Delhi. So this guy had already started another company which was funded by Times Internet by now. At that time they just raised I think about 20-30 odd lakh rupees. But I was like, guys, you know how to raise money, and raising money was all the jazz at that point of
Yeah.
time. So an entrepreneur was really taught that, hey, if you want to build a company, you need to raise money. That was a celebration which I think agree with anymore, but at least at that point of time that was
You agreed.
all
Yeah.
the excitement. So I went to him. I was like, hey dude, how do we how do we raise money? What do I do? What kind of market should I be in? And I tried different things. I think I was trying to learn UI UX back then because he told me all about it, and I sort of became good at it for product design. And I think I started getting a bunch of
So
people reaching out to me.
So just waiting here. Like so, for all the people who don't know what UI UX is, what were you learning? What is like? I know user experience, user interface, but what were you learning? क्या ऐसा क्या था like?
So yeah, I'll elaborate. So basically यार मेरे को प्रोडक्ट पता नहीं था कैसे बनते हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी प्रोडक्ट्स $1 billion कंपनीज बनती कैसे हैं ये तो नहीं पता था, बनानी है
Hmm.
यही पता था. So
Yeah,
I think
okay.
it had to start somewhere, right? Like if you want to build something, you need to speak the language of the nation you want to go to. So
Yeah.
so I trying to understand what front end means, what back end means, what design means. Like these were some of the terms that were thrown around in a product company's environment. So I
yeah.
started reading, trying to ask my friends, yeah, front end क्या होता है, back end क्या होता है, दोनों में आपस में relationship क्या होता है. So
Yeah.
मतलब
And where did you learn all of this?
so friends, right? I was from an engineering college, so all of my friends, they were all like,
Okay. And if somebody who is not from this background and who doesn't have friends in this industry,
Google.com, I think, dude. Like Google answers everything. The only problem with probably Google is that it's too much information to be consumed. So sometimes it could become overwhelming. So
Yeah.
I think for me, a large part of how I consume knowledge is through people, because I know they've already filtered the best
Yep.
of all the clutter, and they're giving me crisp.
yeah, that's a good advice. That's actually a very good advice. Like you reach out to people who have already done some stuff so that they give you the best advice. But sometimes it doesn't happen. Like especially if you're starting out, people don't reply you. And you don't know how to approach people in the right way. So at this time, do you have any sources or anything, any particular website or any particular source, just to put it out for people so that they understand कि okay, इस पर्टिकुलर जगह पे मैं सीख लूंगा तो वो जेन्युइन होगा, अपार्ट फ्रॉम गूगल और यूट्यूब, एनी इंटरेस्टिंग वेबसाइट?
So, matlab, I don't use a particular website, but I'll tell you one thing about my life curve also so far. तो लोगों को लगता है कि यार मतलब मैं किसी को reach out करूंगा and they'll reply, right? And I can tell you, I for me the maths has always worked. Like I'm the maths guy, right? I always
Okay.
talk numbers in the company. So I'm just skipping to a time in San Francisco during the course of these few years when I went there to, I thought, just see the ecosystem, meet a few entrepreneurs. Now I went to San Francisco and I didn't know anybody, zero. So
Yeah.
I just bought a LinkedIn Sales Navigator subscription,
Okay.
wrote a nice short message. I think one of the things I've always been good at is writing, articulating myself well.
Yeah.
It's just something that I've been good at. I wrote a sharp, crisp message, and I sent it to like I think 500 Bay Area Indians who were,
Whoa.
like MDs of large enterprises. One of them was running a $3 billion company. Was the CEO of that. One of them.
What did you write? Can you share it with everyone? Like, I'm interested.
So I remember the intent of it. I don't remember the language of it. But the intent was saying that, hey guys, I'm visiting from India. I'm an entrepreneur who's trying to do a bunch of things, and there's a lot that I need to learn, and you've accomplished a lot, and it'd be great to catch up, say hello from a fellow Indian, and pick maybe pick your brain on how I could navigate my journey. And I assumed like most of them wouldn't have the time, right? I assume
Yeah.
most of them won't reply, but the idea is when you do it at scale, when you do it to 500 people, you just need 1 2 3 4 of them to reply, because when
True.
you get those 1 2 3 4 of them, they become the doors to introductions to the entire other network that will start responding
True.
to you.
Absolutely.
And this has been the same journey in our business. Like, we were nobodies. I just reached out to a lot of people, picked some, and those became anchors for everybody else. So I think I didn't have any mentors per se, or back then I just reached out to friends. A lot of them said, dude, I really need you for an hour. रात को घर पे आता हूँ तेरे, we'll drink a beer, and मेरे को front and back end समझा दियो. So this is how basically started. And
Yeah.
वो अपने फंडे दे देते थे. So I used to go back, but because I had a baseline direction, तो मेरे को समझ बहुत जल्दी आता था when I used to read on Google कि क्या बोल रहे थे और
Got it.
what is this all about, right? So then UI UX was one of those subjects कि यार user experience design बनता है, उसके ऊपर user interface design बनता है. I used to go back and study again. तो उस पे मेरा इंटरेस्ट काफी क्रिएट हुआ यूजर इंटरफेस यूजर एक्सपीरियंस पे. तो आई वाज ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड अ प्रोडक्ट that I was envisioning again, which was like a event social network. तो वो कहीं ना कहीं मीटअप से अभी भी वो सेम थॉट से ड्रिवन था जो सोचा था कभी.
Yeah.
It was like a Instagram for events,
Okay.
and design is the first step. Like, design was the first step of thinking what I want my product to look like. And yeah, so started designing it. It looked like a really cool product, but I didn't have a techie guy with me, so couldn't figure out back then. बहुत basic mistakes पे अटकते थे कि IIT दिल्ली का CTO चाहिए, वो ढूंढना है, बहुत ऐसे जो society ने I think of all the media has celebrated certain things, right? So you fall for that trap, and I was trying to do the same things, but I think in hindsight they were the worst mistakes, and that's where I wasted my time. But some of the good things were that I went about designing. I created a design that caught some attention, and people said, why don't you make some UI UX design for our products that we're
Yeah.
doing? And people is like 1 crore to 3 crores. I said, yeah, why not? Because I'll get to learn from you and how
Yeah.
you're building your companies too. I think एक साल वो चलता रहा, and after that I said यार कि चलो बढ़िया, काफी कर लिया,
सीख लिया, कर लिया.
सीख लिया, फंडे आ गए हैं, ज्यादा ही कर लिया. मतलब 1 साल से कम था, बट मुझे लगा कि हो गया मेरा, मतलब I needed to jump into something.
हाँ.
So I started something called summerlabel.com. This was a
Okay.
Zomato for fashion lifestyle store discovery. तो idea ये था कि how you discover restaurants. There are millions of smaller fashion lifestyle stores in India, जिनके ऐसे
Okay.
local customers होते हैं बहुत सारे, और जिनके बेस पे वो चलते हैं, but they can't compete Zara's of the world. Like, what
Yeah.
a smaller restaurant,
Because there's no discovery platform.
there's no discovery, there's no rating, there was no knowledge that they exist, right? So like how a small restaurant today does better because of their great reviews on Zomato than a Pizza Hut, maybe.
Yep.
if it was to be. And so similarly, the idea was to build a platform that could compete with the global giants and be out there because of what they do, right? And so that's where I started. I think उसमें भी फंडे काफी थोड़े इधर उधर थे, but I ended up raising money, which was about 75 odd lakhs from people I'd met at my fest.
Okay.
ये फेस्ट बहुत लकी करके. I need to attend this fest now.
I know, and dude, like even my client at the design firm, so he said, whatever you were doing, I just like you. I'll invest. I was like,
Wow.
wow, like this is great. This is so nice of you, because it was overwhelming, right? Like people
Yeah.
trust you so much, they're nice to you, and I was like, okay, great. So ended up raising like 75 odd lakhs from a bunch of these guys and their networks,
Mhm.
and uh, and yeah, and started with building Summer Label. On the journey, Summer Label fashion में था, तो influencer marketing was something we wanted to do for ourselves. So
Okay.
when we entered that is when I realized कि यार influencer marketing में तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम है, मतलब दो तीन एजेंसी को मिलता है, एक बोलता कि यार one of them would say this X influencer charges 50,000, the other would say they charge 1.5 lakhs, the other would say they charge 15,000. I was like, guys, I only have 75 lakhs. If this is how I started blowing my money, I'd be on the street in 2 days. So,
Yeah.
so I said, यार ये तो खुद ही करना पड़ेगा, figure out.
Yeah.
And that's when we went into it, started reading about the global trend, and figured, wow, this is huge. This
Yeah.
this is real money on the table today, and yeah, there's a huge problem to be solved. In India में कोई कुछ कर नहीं रहा था उस पे अभी, मतलब
Which
it was
year was
still
this?
something. So this is 2017.
Okay, so you realize that influencer marketing में कोई कुछ कर नहीं रहा है and
हाँ,
इंडिया
so
में तो कोई भी
and anyways, like Summer Label का जो चल रहा था, it was something that would need a lot more money to be pumped in for it to scale. So we had raised our first round. That was largely a friends and family round, right? So
Yeah.
it was just people I knew, but I didn't see it raising the next $1 million or so. And the model was not a revenue positive model. It was just a
Hmm.
model that would blow money and get users on board. But at that point of time, in 2017, it was also a very bad time for raising capital, especially for early stage ventures, and fashion in general was doing bad as a category. So raising money would have been way too tough. So
Difficult.
we
Yeah.
knew we had to pivot. We knew we had to get into a model that would get revenues in, and this literally seemed like a golden mine to be captured then. So we started experimenting around it, and I started. So the interesting story of how, I think when we ventured in, so we said let's name it One Impression. Uh, we'll see how things shape up. Abhi clarity nahi thi. Funds maybe we only had 20 lakh rupees left, and we didn't have much money left from what we'd raised. So we really needed to get on track
Yeah.
and start doing things right. So I was visiting Bombay because I used to sometimes just travel to unclutter my mind. So I just went to
Yeah.
Bombay once. I was working out of a co-working space there, and I thought यार कि बॉम्बे में हूँ, बॉम्बे शेविंग कंपनी का नाम बॉम्बे शेविंग कंपनी है, वो भी बॉम्बे में होंगे, let's
Yeah.
just write to them. So I wrote to them. I wrote to the CEO Shantanu, and he responded saying, I said, I guess you guys would be in Bombay. So I'm visiting Bombay. Let's catch up. So he said, yeah, we're Bombay Shaving Company, but we're actually in Delhi. So whenever, if you're visiting, let's catch up. I said, oh, I'm actually from Delhi, so मैं वापस आके मिलता हूँ. So I went
Yeah.
back, met them, their team, and they really liked what we were generally thinking. And they're like, we've been thinking about doing this. And Ronak, who's a CMO and a really good friend today, back then became our first client.
Hmm.
And he gave me the first check for doing a campaign with influencers. I remember there were 8 influencers. I executed all of it myself. No clarity on what the
so how did you find them, like just through Instagram, like, and then made a list of them, that's it, this is how you do it?
yeah. So there was no science to it back then. It was just really great people who had reached out to on Instagram. Some of them have become very large influencers today that most of the people watching the video today would know of already. All of them are large influencers, but back then they were also starting out. Like 2017 wasn't an year where it was, big.
Yeah.
People were just starting out. So yeah, so it was great. Bombay Shaving Company became the first client. I got the kick that, hey, it was the first time revenue that I had seen. I was like, wow, there's something right we've done, because
Yeah.
a client gave me money, and post.
To do influencer marketing for them.
Yeah, and they were also eventually, after the campaign happened, I remember getting a message from them saying that we weren't sure if this would work out, but this was stellar, and we hope to do so much more work with you. And I was like,
Wow.
wow, this is what I was hoping
Hmm.
for. So it was a hope, it was a ray of light on a direction that seemed to be interesting. and then some of the, then I got health card, then again I got bunch of other clients through the network that I'd built in. And yeah, from 2017 to now, I think we're probably like the largest in India. There's a very clear vision on how we do what we do. There's a science to doing things.
Yeah.
We're about on a run rate of about $5 odd million this year. We're heavily EBITDA positive. So last year our EBITDA was over $1 million, which is very unheard of for early stage companies. So and especially because we haven't raised a single penny in terms of money post at 75 odd lakhs, which we'd burnt on some
Yeah.
level, and
And you're
raised like
profitable.
20 odd lakhs. We're fairly profitable. Like we did about $1 million in profit last year. We're hoping to do 3x of that this year.
Wow.
And yeah, and I think by next year we're hoping to do somewhere between 150 odd crores in revenue, which is fairly sizable for India. We're already active in 11 countries. So yeah.
It's growing. Now I have so many questions. Like you actually fast forwarded everything, the main hardcore lessons which is there for people. Okay, like not there is one lesson. There are many lessons out there, and I have multiple questions. Let's just start one, or like you answer one, then answer, because it's a goddamn journey, and I'm so curious that you tell me one thing and then I dive into it, and then I want to get deep into this one thing rather than getting the questions right. But I have couple of like the broad perspective questions. I have couple of them. Number one, A, is there are tons, like when you started you were the key influencer marketing company, okay, which was a normal influencer marketing ki, theek hai, because at that time it was new, it was something which not many people had heard of or not many people were aware of, right? So they were like, yo, एक बंदा आएगा वो 100 लोगों को एक साथ हमको कनेक्ट दे देगा, तो it's better we reach out to them. But now there are tens and hundreds of influencer company. In fact, every city has 4 or 5. Like even the small tiers have like huge. I live in Indore, dude. Here I know at least 3 or 4 influencer marketing agencies. I don't even know where, like, if Indore has more than 5 legit influencers, no. But
Yeah, there are crazy number of agencies in India now. I agree.
yeah. So how do you, in this particular extremely competitive market, what is different in you, and why would, let's just say I am Bombay Shaving Company today, okay, and you come to me and be like, Raj, I'm an influencer marketing, give me your account. Why should I give you? What is there in you which is not there in 10 other companies?
So I'd first like give an analogy to the gold rush. So anything, when there was gold rush, everybody rushed to where the gold was. Didn't mean that everybody made fortunes out of it.
Yep.
Similarly, when oil came, everybody rushed to oil. Some of them became large, others didn't, right? So similarly, influencer marketing is just something that's super hyped right now, and of course it's working for a lot of brands, but at the same time the barrier to entry is really low. Like if you know 10 influencers personally, you
Yeah.
would say and you incorporate a company, you could say I'm running an influencer marketing agency, right? So
True.
we don't see those hundreds and thousands as competition. In fact, we don't even see the top 5 ones as competition, which is uh, so we come from a very different perspective to the table. We're not service agents. So all agencies in India think of themselves as service agents, wherein they service a client.
Yeah.
They become like outsourced vendors to service a need for a client. We don't think of ourselves as service agents. We think of ourselves as a marketplace for influencers, a data driven intelligent marketplace for influencers. So our pitch to brands is that we are money managers. Eventually any brand wants to do something when it can do it at scale, because they're not really spending time to do something so small that it takes time for them, and yet like cannot
True.
scale, right? Like anything a large brand wants to do has to be scaled eventually.
Yep.
Now at scale, money has to make sense. Like at the end of the day, it's business. So ROI becomes a question, right? Brands want numbers to make sense. Now there is no sense around the industry on how numbers work. I have seen hundreds. I'd not, without naming the client, one of the large FMCG enterprise media heads quoting how many influencers exist in India, what is the average following, and completely wrong data. And hundreds of people liking it, commenting it, sharing it, saying, see, this is what influencer marketing is. And I can tell you, our platform actually tracks factual data. There are about 1.3 million influencers on Instagram alone in India who have over 1,000 followers and are in private profiles and have posted something at least once in the last 1 month. This is
Okay.
very specific data that I'm talking about, and I can get into a lot more hardcore data with you for when it comes to influencers. But the idea is that today there's a lot of noise around everybody educating others around how
Yeah.
influencer marketing works, but we're money managers. We tell them that hey, we guys understand that when you want to invest a crore rupees every month, it needs to solve certain kind of problems for you, which is
True.
how do you know that your money is behaving in the most optimal way? How is it getting you the maximum impact possible? How do you measure that impact? What are the
Yeah.
ways to measure impact? Why should you go to a Instagram or a YouTube? How do you choose where you invest your money? So it's also a question, right? Like you have a crore rupees to spend a month or in a
Yeah.
year. Where should I put my money? Should I do it? Everybody is doing celebrities. Should I do celebrities? Should I do videos? Should I do stories? Should I do YouTube? Should I do integrated videos or dedicated videos? There is a science to all of it on why you do what and what category of brand you're in. Are you a
Okay.
impulse buying category? Are you a category that's a new category which people need to understand what it is? Are you a kids category? Kids nutrition means parents are going to buy. Parents are going to think a lot before they will buy. So a lot of knowledge building has to be done. Expert opinions have to be built. Versus if you're a brand that can drive impulse sales, it's a 300 rupee product that I just visually like and I might buy fashion. The fashion
Yeah.
works very differently. Even images work really well for them. So uh, YouTube works really well for certain category of brands, and I've seen a lot of brands who keep investing in Instagram, thinking Instagram is all the
Yeah.
jazz
Yeah.
because there's so much content. Instagram is great; it addresses top of the funnel for brands, but YouTube addresses bottom of the funnel for brands really, really well. There are ways of clubbing performance marketing and influencer marketing on Instagram to drive the impact that you want to drive. What we call influencer ads internally at One Impression. These are concept knowledge that
Nobody
that
talks about.
nobody is even talking about from like a distance, like even remotely
Yeah.
people are not even thinking about it. Talking about it is a whole different ball game. I'm saying nobody's even thinking about it. So because we're genuine consultants to brands on how money needs to be spent, why we literally tell them why. There's a science to it. We explain that science, and we're very happy to take the most the most challenging questions they have. And all of the brands try through throwing questions. These are large brands. They're approached by hundreds of agencies,
Yeah.
so they want to ask us that why they're trying to get something there where they can prove us wrong, right? But
Yep.
we have an answer in a very scientific methodology of why. How do you do it? What are various options? What is impact A, what is impact B? So we're like hardcore, we're like doctors to them, right? We're telling them, hey, we're not just a chemist. The analogy again I draw is a chemist shop is a marketplace, if you think about it, of medicines. You go, you buy a medicine, whichever you want, you'll tell the chemist, he'll give you. He's not a consultant for you. A doctor is not a chemist. A doctor is consulting you, but some doctors
Yep.
also have say chemist shop with them. So we're essentially consultants where we tell them we're not just focused on getting their money in and getting the servicing done. We're focused on how do we drive maximum impact for their money in the least amount of time and effort. Human psychology हमेशा से simple रही है and वही रहेगी. कम effort करना है, पार्टी ज्यादा करनी है, पैसा ज्यादा बनाना है, right? सबको
Yep.
यही करना है. मतलब
Yep.
कम effort में अगर मेरा काम अच्छे से हो रहा है, I don't want my work to go wrong, but I want to chill, right, in my
Yeah.
life. So I want to work least hard for maximum impact, right, and in a format that I know is trusted. So we
Yeah.
are we are those guys which tell brands कि तुम्हारा effort कम होगा, तुम्हारी output बढ़ जाएगी, and we are reliable. Why? Because one, we talk in a very reliable way. We explain the science. Two,
Yep.
because we already have 150 plus top brands trusting us. So it's a lot easier to trust us
Yes.
than to trust a
Obviously.
new guy on the table.
So makes sense. Like all of you, what you talk, and there are measure like this. This is like a lesson for me. I mean, I've learned more about uh, how to go to clients and how to pitch and how to build a product in just last 10 minutes. I'm not even exaggerating it. Then I have read it in any book or have, you know, uh, have actually learned from any other podcast or interview till now. And hands off to you, because you were telling about yourself and you were telling about the little things, but essentially everything was backed on psychology. Everything was backed on helping out people. And what I understood, the analogy is that you work as a consultant, not as a distributor. And most of the brands are working as a distributor. They just want to maximize their profit, so they're distributing the 5 products which they have. That's why they're just giving that to the brands. And you are, on the other hand, as an advisor, as a consultant, and be like, you know what, I am just going to advise and consult you the right ways to go about it. I am also a distributor, but it's up to you what products you want. I'm not going to distribute you the products which are going to make me the maximum profits. I'm going to look into your brand and going to help you with things which is going to make you the maximum profit.
And see, right, like you can sell a story once, there you can fool, somebody once, but that's where the magic happens, because we're not just talking and saying and claiming. When they actually spend that money, we drive that impact. Like I have seen clients starting at 2.5 lakh rupees a month spending with us and moving to like 40 lakhs a month, 50 lakhs a month, 1 crore a month. These are clients who started so small that they didn't even know, we even didn't know that they could spend 1 crore rupees a month. We thought they're 2.5 lakhs a month, so they'll keep spending maybe 5 lakhs a month. And they literally in a 4-month cycle went to spending 1 crore rupees a month. And we're like, whoa, this is amazing. Like we didn't know our clients were so big.
That's beauty of giving results.
So that's what I learned. Like when you and then I think the word spreads, right? Like when you it's that network effect. When you have all the right guys working with you, trusting you, and you delivering results, then everybody else, it's I think that stage where we have crossed that critical mass ka threshold. Now it's become much easier. Like we know how to do it. All the top guys and new brands trust us how to do it. We've been doing it, and we're very focused on delivering value. Like of course we want to make money. We're in the business. Any business needs to make money to grow and sustain. But before that, the hardcore idea is कि यार business चलेगा तो तभी जब clients को value मिलेगी. Value नहीं मिलेगी कुछ नहीं होगा. And value
जब clients का business चलेगा तभी तुम्हारा business चलेगा.
Correct. And we're not a servicing agent. Like I tell people, we're not a service agency. We're a partner. We're almost as if your internal team, for influencer marketing, and we'll help you figure out the science behind it and scale it.
To summarize it, the few lessons which I learned: A, your product needs to be data driven. Your product needs to be, psychologically driven, because that's the most important thing. Because if you hit the right psychology, you get the people, you get the clients, you get the customers paying for your product. So psychology is very important. B, once you sell that product, एक बार बिक गया, then you actually need to deliver the value. Then you need to actually show the results, because if your product sucks, second time के बाद तुमको वापस कभी business मिलने नहीं वाला. And third, which I absolutely love, is you becoming a part of a team where you are taking people from, let's just say, a small money, 2.5 lakh to 40 lakhs. So that journey, focusing on that, is also important, which most of the businesses don't do. They get the first time money कि वो 5 लाख मिल गया, ये client 5 लाख का, अब 50 लाख का ढूंढो, अब 1 करोड़ का ढूंढो. Very few people think about, okay, मुझे 5 लाख वाला मिला है, so इसी को मैं इतना grow करूँ so that it reaches to 50 lakh now. And that
correct.
That's what actually
and in fact that's also something that we also didn't do right in the first go. Like I think the first, when we were early, but the only difference is that we made these mistakes before there was a plethora of companies. So we also did this journey of looking for many clients, not retention and repeat business a lot. But over that journey, we realized while we were doing good business, we were delivering results, we weren't focusing on them, on nurturing them, on growing them. And now there are proper structures, there are teams or divided basis category of clients basis, whether it's an enterprise or a D2C brand. And, people work on that accordingly. They're trained accordingly. Their thought process is designed accordingly. So they know whether if they're dealing with an enterprise, they think, talk different. If they're dealing with a young brand, they think, talk different. And I think that is what is helping us. We're a very structured organization.
In that
very unlike like young startups, which is because I know I deal with all of them now, so I know it's very unlike most young companies who are not structured and all over the place. We were also the same, but I
Yeah.
think we've structured ourselves a lot.
Yeah. So we got to know your thought process of why you wanted to start. We got to know how you failed in couple of few startups. You got a good exit. You got profitable, and how you got to a point where you founded One Impressions. And now we know like why One Impressions works better than all the other agencies, which is giving you the kind of success which you have right now, right? Now the point is,
Just one thing I want to correct on also is, so we don't really see ourselves as an agency. We're trying to build the world's largest marketplace for influencer marketing, a data driven intelligent marketplace, which is where I think we're trying to be the Amazon of influencer marketing. See, what Amazon does is become a source for you to it's
Yeah.
a door for you to sell to the world, right? And it's an intelligent platform. It can tell you insights on which kind of consumers are buying, what do you sell, how do you sell it. And we're trying to do the same thing for brands by becoming a marketplace. So investing heavily in
Nice.
technology. We've acquired, in fact, as we talk, we're in process of acquiring a technology company.
Wow.
Right now we've just gotten somebody very senior joining us, from a large enterprise advertising company managing over $150 million in business there to lead our product. So we're going heavy on product technology, and we don't see ourselves remaining a agency business or becoming a large agency. We see ourselves becoming the world's largest data driven sort of a marketplace for influencers and for brands to sort of come and use that data to drive results.
wow, dude, you're 27. Talk like a 27-year-old. Don't talk like somebody who's on a who's going to like change the world. And I feel very like I feel very inferior and small and be like fuck. ऐसे भी लोग सोचते हैं ऐसे भी like you're just my age. I mean, though you're elder than me. You're 3 years elder than me.
Wow. Okay, that
So
makes me feel old already.
oh, but you are on a rate. You are on a rage right now. What the rate? So yep. Okay. Now I wanted to understand. Like we understood what you're trying to do, and all my wishes, all my blessings, dude. You soon gonna achieve that part, and it's a brilliant way to do it because having a marketplace, it gets businesses and customers both. So right now, most of the influencer companies, I think, which are not able to do something better, is they're not catering to the both the needs. They're focusing on one. Either they're focused on getting the diverse influencers and trying to get their data, or they're focused on just getting the diverse clients. They're not focused on becoming a marketplace. So I think that's obviously a clear edge you
See,
guys
it's a
have.
feedback loop, right? So the
Yeah.
more brands you have from a same category, the more influencers also you have from the same category. It's a feedback loop, knowledge loop also. So you know what works for the category. You can use that broad level knowledge and make sure that everybody finds success. Like if an
Yeah.
Uber to work, the supply and demand in the same city has to scale. It can't that the supply scales in one area, the demand scales in the all
Yeah.
over the place. It won't make sense. It needs to be structured. So we're structuring that, saying that hey, if you're a beauty client, these are 50 beauty clients we work with. This is the broad level knowledge that works for them. These are 5,000 beauty influencers we work with. This is what works for them. We consistently keep using that knowledge loop and improving it for the entire set of clients.
Brilliant. I think this insight is for every business, not just for your business. Okay. This is for every business. Most of the time, we try to look at the categories. Like, this is the major problem which I say to a lot of people in my city who are trying to get into startup world. And they're like, oh, this category is huge. This category nationwide is for X number of $1 billion, XYZ. And I'm like, dude, you want to start your business in, let's just say, Indore, and you are looking at numbers of Delhi and Mumbai, and then trying to compare the potential there to here. Like if you want to supply this kind of services in this city, then the demand needs to be in this city as well. That is that is where you're going to find your like you're going to hit the nail.
Growth or magic, correct.
Yeah, that is the point where you actually find your growth. That is the point where you find magic, and people don't understand this. They look at Google पे जाते हैं, डेटा देखते हैं, किसी ने बोल दिया X billion of dollars. Oh, now इसी में मेरी पूरी इंडस्ट्री बना दूंगा, right? So that's an interesting part. which most of the young people or anyone who wants to get into the business world or entrepreneurship world, whoever is listening to this or watching this, please don't make this mistake. Don't look at some other city's data and potential and try to replicate this thing in some other city which has no potential in particular field. So don't try to do that.
So I just feel like for most people I come across like in very early stages, I think like the one thing that honestly helps me a lot is clarity. मतलब मैं उतना काम नहीं करता हूँ, उतना effort नहीं करता हूँ honestly. मेरा I think 2 or 3 things that work for me is one, I'm generally very clear. मेरे को मतलब काफी clarity है कि हमें जाना कहाँ है mathematically, number में, category wise, who to focus on. And when you have these clarities, तुम 80% जो एफर्ट वो कर रहे होते हो जिसकी आउटपुट 20% होती है, और जो सी द 80-20 रूल
80-20
अप्लाई,
rule, yeah.
राइट? तो 80% effort gets you 20% thing, 20% things will get you 80% of your you
Yeah.
know results. So finding that is important. We have found we spend a lot of time internally figuring out अपना 20% क्या है, and उस
Yeah.
20% को 80 कर देंगे तो we'll be doing crazy amounts of stuff. The growth will be insane. So I see most people are all over the place talking A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I don't know, like sometimes मैं confused जाता हूँ कि यार इतना कर लिया तो तुम Amazon को ही beat कर रहे हो. So the point is, start small, learn fast, move forward, and then the world is yours to get right.
Yeah.
But you need to. I remember a friend of mine. I used to say कि यार $1 billion company बनानी है. बोलता था भाई जाएगा तो रास्ता 1 ही करोड़ से ना, 1 करोड़ से ही $1 billion का रास्ता जाता है. तो
True.
that is a story I remember because I used to think of directly jumping to a
$1 billion
$1 billion
category.
business, but that's not how things work. You need to start at 10 lakhs, at a crore, at a 10 crores. You'll grow. It's a journey, but you need to.
So first-
you can take that faster.
First focus is to get the 10 lakh rupees first. कि मेरे पास अगर कुछ भी नहीं है तो first let me just get the 10 lakh.
See, the numbers is not the point. The point is the numbers could be a lakh, 10 lakhs, a crore. It could be different for different people, but you take the journey. The idea is you need
Yeah.
to divide the milestones and chase those milestones. It could be in terms of users, it could be in terms of subscriptions, it could be in terms of valuation, it could be in terms of revenue and profit. Like I am chasing $1 billion revenue. I'm not chasing a valuation anymore, honestly.
Yep.
I don't care what our valuation is right now, what it would be. It's these are of course important statistics to the market, but these are things we'll figure out as we grow. But right now what I'm chasing is hardcore $1 billion
Revenue.
monthly, yearly money coming in, and coming into the bank account and then going to influencers. That is hardcore $1 billion that I'm chasing. Whether it's valued at 5 billion, 10 billion, 15 billion, those are things we'll figure out when we get there. But right now I'm chasing revenues.
Nice. That's actually a good insight. That you're very clear about what you want. Like you're not focusing on 10 other things at the same time. You're focusing on like bus revenue badhana hai. That's my hardcore focus. And once you have that clarity, I think you drive your organization in certain way as well. Like you're not focused here and there. From here, I want to shift the angle of we trying to capture the market and buying in and getting in a finding our edge or gold rush. Is how do you raise money? How do you raise that investments? Because you told me that you got your first investment from a college, the person who you found in College Fest, and obviously after that you have raised couple of $1 million apart from that as well. But how do you raise money? How do you get an investor? And I get it, like you write them, you email them, and that's the simple jazz which you did to find people and meet them in Silicon Valley. But after that, what do you tell an investor कि ओ मैं ये बना रहा हूँ मुझे पैसा दो? What do you do?
Yeah, so इसके actually ना इस पे बहुत YouTube दुनिया भर का ज्ञान, there are billionaires.
हाँ, I get it. I want to know your perspective.
So I'll share mine, and it's a lot. Like I'll tell you how I think about it. Firstly, like I'll tell you why right now where we are in our stage. हम 4 महीने पहले actually सोच रहे थे कि $2 million raise कर लेते हैं. Finally, we ended up getting an offer, and then we're not raising that money now because we feel we've already jumped the curve a little bit, and probably अब 10 million raise कर लेंगे कि नहीं. But the bigger question of why we're not raising money is because the question to us ourselves that we keep asking is, do we need the money? So again, bringing to my first point, that while everybody wants to raise money who's starting a company, the first question to address is, do you need money? If yes, how much do you need? To why, what will you do with that money? And eventually, how, are you, what are you trying to do with that money, in the sense that, are you trying to build a business? Are you trying to build a very, very large enterprise in a very short span of time? You need money for acceleration or growth, essentially,
Yeah.
right? Or in some cases, building, say, the supply first, because there's no demand, and once you've put the money burning on supply, you build enough demand that it becomes sustainable at scale, right? So the idea is, or you raising money to put it in technology or product, that you need to hire a bunch of engineers or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
the idea is, most people just want to raise money for the heck of it. I think it's a great uh, it's a great idea to first think internally and just ask, if you need it, how much you need it. I know friends who raised 25 lakhs and are right now making over $2 million in profits a year. I know one of my investors. He's raised no money. His company, makes about $7 to $8 million in profit. They're like a small ByteDance in themselves, in the sense that they have over 110 million downloads. They're crazy
Wow.
products, doing fantastic, and they're now raising directly. They're planning to raise about $100 million. And see, there are people who've gone through, who are raising at different stages for different reasons. So
Mm-hmm.
how do you raise money? If the first question, is whether you need it. If you need it, I think for me, the raise, at least I've done, was largely people who trusted me. So these were a bunch of folks who knew that, whatever I was doing, I would pull it off. So the money was not on the business model or the business. It was largely invested on me. But this
Yeah.
happens in very early stages if you're just starting out. It's a family, friends,
Yeah.
seed round. So
So you were the jockey. People were betting on a jockey.
it's like, if I'm starting today, like 3 years from when I raised that money, I think today I'd be able to raise like 1 million or 2 million, with the network and the trust that I've built, saying
Yeah.
that, hey, I'm building this. Would you invest a $2 million? I'm starting out, and people would bet on me without having too much clarity on what the business is going to do. But beyond that, right, and probably if I was a very, very, very successful entrepreneur like the Kunal Shahs of the world, who are out there doing great, they'll probably raise 10 million, 20 million, 50 million also, if sometimes
Yeah.
if they're starting out, because there's so much trust around
So
what they
first is
can do, or what.
So first is what I understood from your is ki, to become the man of substance, to become a man who people
People
can
need
bet
to
on.
trust you, right?
Yep.
I mean, people need to be able to eventually, and even if you've not done much, I mean, younger people also raise so much money, right? Like, I know people who 20-year-olds raising money. They don't have a history of doing crazy things because they're literally 20-year-olds. But I think, if you talk substance, if you can, if you have clarity on what you're articulating, on what you want to do, if there's a vision to what you can become, people people are willing to take a bet. And I can tell you, like, right now, I've invested in 7 companies in the last, I think, six
wow.
8 months. I've sort of been angel investing, and yeah, I think most of the investments have been on people who you feel might be able to, I didn't know any of them, but their substance, either some of them came
Yeah.
from very, very strong backgrounds, or
Hmm.
they had a very clear vision on what they wanted to do.
True. I think all the answers, what you're essentially saying, it belongs in the basics. Like it lies the basic. It's all about the basics. It's about why you want the money, what you're going to do with it, how you're going to make the full use of this money, and how you're going to repay it back, and where you are going with all of this. So just like asking
And I
what,
think
why, how, where.
one more question that's really important is, are you investable? So of course you might think
Mm,
you have all the answers, but a lot of people might not think that you're even an investable uh, business.
Company or
What you
business.
have
Yeah.
as a proposition is a lifestyle business. It's not
Yeah.
it might not even be a scalable venture that people want to take a bet on, because the returns are so low that it does
Yeah.
not become like an interesting
True.
company will bet on. So are you investable is another question you really need to think about.
yeah, that all goes back to the product. Like, okay, that goes back to the product.
So goes back to the basics. Are you investable? Is
And
your
sometimes,
maths working?
so sometimes I also need to understand the basic of it. Like, many people say that X number of like X company and X founders raised X number of money. For example, somebody raised $10 million, $100 million, and they're not profitable. They're burning money. They're losing money. So how does a founder make money? Like, does he get paid? Does he get back his salary, or that's it?
So yeah, so I think for most founders, it's largely one, of course, the salary that you keep getting. So which is of course not why you have worked so hard. How you make money is either when when your company is large enough that the stock uh, is actually valuable to the market. So even so, one, there's going to be secondary stock sale. So other investors might want to buy from you. If you're a 1,000 crore rupee company, some investors or people might want to buy in some of your stock at say 800 crore rupee valuation, because you're actually able to make money at that 800 crore rupee valuation right now. Somebody's willing to
Yeah.
pay you for it. Or when the company, so eventually a founder can only make money either through salary or through stock. Now for stock to make money for you, you need to sell stock. That
Yeah.
stock selling can happen either when you sell it to a secondary market investor or buyer, or when you get acquired by
Some
a
company.
larger
Yeah.
company and they buy out your stock. But there are only two basic ways of making money: money directly coming as salary, money coming from stock. Stock is why you really work your ass off.
Yeah.
And stock and raising money does not mean that your stock was sold. It just means more stock was issued, hence your stock's value has increased, but you've
Yeah.
not really made any money. You make money when
Oh,
you sell.
when you exit, like when you sell your hard-earned share or your
Correct, when
baby,
you
like
sell your
when you
stock.
sell a part of your baby. Like,
I mean,
I
yeah, you
have,
can call it in, you
like,
can
I
call it.
have, I'll tell you an interesting story. I went to the Forbes 30 under 30 event in Boston. Okay, I was, so just as a, because one of my friends was into Forbes 30 under 30, and she was not able to go there because of some reason. So she put me in, and I was just there to moderate one of the sessions and give like a 5-10 minute keynote on her behalf. Okay,
Acha.
so
Wow.
whatever
That's
उसको जो
interesting.
करना था उसकी जगह मुझे देना पड़ गया, and I mean देना पड़ गया, I was more than lucky to do it, but it happened. And there, somebody I met, like he was an Indian as well. He was, I think, some person from a very senior position of Food Panda, and I'm talking about, I think, 2017. Just Singapore में Food Panda became a very big thing. I think 2017 or 18, something like that. Food Panda was a huge thing at that time. जब नया नया आया था वो, उसके सारे लोग फूड फोर्ब 30 अंडर 30 में आ गए थे. You know that edge when startups get कि most of the employees are in these kind of lists. And that time he talked about this one thing, and I still remember कि for a founder to sell shares, it's like selling part of their baby. Most of the people feel that it's wonderful, it looks very fancy. Oh, he made $1 million or $5 million or $50 million, but he only knows that he actually sold a goddamn hand, or he sold a kidney, or he sold a leg. And
Yeah, no,
that's
it's really hard. It's really hard. I can tell you that. Like right now, it's the reason we're not raising money is I feel so hard being able to share uh, this with others, because of the way we've been able to autonomously take decisions, grow this. It's just exciting, and selling it off is very
Yeah.
challenging. But it's also the hard reality of uh, how
Yeah.
you eventually make money.
talking about Forbes 30 under 30. How do you get into it? How did you get into it?
So again, I think my journey to it was, I think when 4 years, just rewinding 4 years ago, I was super excited about the Forbes 30 under 30. Today, I think I genuinely don't have as much charm to it, because
Of course,
it's
once you get
exciting. I
it,
love it,
yeah.
but no, but I think, yeah. So I agree that once you get it, the charm becomes lesser. But in general, also, I realized that it didn't change my
Life.
life, like, right, like it's the same. So it's just that I was looking for social validation through an award that is recognized, but otherwise there's no real charm to it. So the reason I say this is because a lot of us stress ourselves out trying to chase things that
True.
don't really add too much meaning to life. I was doing as equally well as I am doing now after it. So I don't think so. It was the award that changed it. Of course, recognitions are always nice to have, but I think people shouldn't be stressing out themselves for chasing some of them. And for us, it happened organically again. A lot of my investors right now, at least I think three of them are Forbes 30 and the 30, and a lot of my friends I had gotten into Forbes 30 and the 30 before before 2020 anyway. So one of my investors recommended to the Forbes committee this year when they were scouting for the next set of startups. So they reached out. I honestly didn't have to. For most people, there's a nomination page where you go self-nominate, or one of your friends could nominate you. But for us, it happened a lot more organically. The Forbes team reached out, asked for certain set of data. We just provided it to them, and it happened. So so I think the fact it wasn't a very complicated process. Of course, that it came through a credible source to them, which is an investor who's already a Forbes 30 under 30 awardee. So that helped. But outside of that, I think what really got us this was that we were doing really well as a company. Our numbers were solid, our vision was solid, and I think for most people, I feel that they're trying to chase, like I said, all the jazz. The jazz is nice. It's not a must have. So if you keep chasing the right things, I realize that all the other things happen for you. If you keep chasing all the jazz, you neither get the jazz nor the right things.
True. That's a very interesting point. I don't know how many times after every answer I've said interesting point, because I'm loving this already. I don't know if many people are going to find this valuable or whatever it is. I am loving it. I am absolutely loving it.
I hope you're not lying today, because you've said it a bunch of times now.
No, because I'm not saying it's like after a very long time I'm talking to somebody of my age, somebody who's very basic but an extraordinary visionary. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we started our conversation with, I believe, I mean, that's off record, but we started with, okay, I just look up to Bill Gates in, like, a 70-year-old me or an 80-year-old me would be like Bill Gates. So it started off with vision, and I think the similar way. And that's why it's a lot of introspecting to go on, because there are few certain, when you get into the journey, I mean, you would agree to this point, that when you step on this journey, when you start doing things, you kind of forget why you started all of this. You get into the jazz so much, and there's a lot of pressure to stay in the jazz, to stay relevant, to be like, oh, maybe to itna sab kar raha hu, to why I'm not getting recognition, why I'm not doing all of that. So it's always good to talk to somebody which makes you introspect and be like, okay, these are the reasons why you started, and these were the reasons why you became also successful. Like,
Correct.
Like,
Absolutely.
the reason was not you getting into some list. Reason was you actually built out a goddamn good product and you worked your ass off for it. That's why you have reached to the point where you are.
Absolutely. No, so I think I browse LinkedIn these days. So I'm not a guy who posts comment. I keep pushing myself that I want to do it a little bit, but I end up not being able to do it. I browse LinkedIn a lot. I read what people are writing, and I see what people are commenting. What's not exciting is what people are writing, but what's exciting is the kind of comments and engagement that I see on some of the content that is absolutely not true or right. And I know the people who are writing it haven't achieved it either, like most of them, because I know them personally. Some of them I know they're also not, they're just sharing all the information because it gets the likes. But what has worked for me in general in life is that I don't look for a lot of social validation. Like, if I get 5 likes on my Instagram picture, for me my job is done. I don't care if I get 5 million. As long as I've got, like, I post something, I get 5 likes, for me I'm like, wow, मेरा मतलब 5 आ गए, ठीक है, I exist, people know I exist, 5 लोगों ने बोल दिया, सही लग रहा है, अब इससे ज़्यादा नहीं चाहिए. So point is, like, people look for a lot of social validation from friends, family, colleagues, I don't know, whoever. Like, मेरे को समझ भी नहीं आता कितनों से वो उनको validation again and again चाहिए होती है. I feel what's important is that you focus on why you started, focus on it, keep doing it. बाकी सब खुद से होता रहता है. Like, you don't need to do.
I genuinely believe in this कि validation, अगर तुम अपना focus करो तो validation मिलेगा ज़रूर तुमको, कहीं ना कहीं से organically मिल जाएगा. You don't have to chase validation. Validation is important because it always good to get appreciated for the hard work which you have been putting in. But I think you should not stress to get validation, and you should focus on the
validation.
Yeah, right? Validation अपने आप मिल जाएगा. And I'll share an interesting story, okay, here. just because you told me कि LinkedIn पे post करना है ये सब. I recently shared a story where a few years ago I spoke at an event where Gary was also speaking. Okay, so Gary Vaynerchuk was also speaking, and I went up to him and I told him like I'm a big fan. I want to have a picture. I clicked the picture. After getting the picture clicked, I was like, no, this is more. This guy is right here. I'm not leaving him. Like, I need to do something. I need to be present there. I went up to him. I talked to him, and I was just standing there for no goddamn reason. I was just trying to talk to him because there were 10 other people as well, 20 other people. Gary is the social media magnet, so gets a lot of attention. Then I escorted him to the VIP area. There were 30 people. They all were having wine tasting and they were having crazy wines. पता नहीं क्या क्या story की, किसी penguin का ये, किसी का वो, like, you know what they talk about, Chile में ये. And I generally stood next to Gary and be like, you know what, I don't drink wine. I'm a teetotaler. But I still want to stand next to you and just want to hear what you're saying. Okay. For an hour, he kind of ignored me. I was just standing there. He saw that I was persistent. After an hour, he told me, let's go on a dinner. Now, there are millionaires, billionaires waiting for him to sip wine with these guys. There are approximately 30, 35, all big shot people. And Gary decides to have a dinner with me in a closed environment in a restaurant in Singapore out of nowhere. He doesn't know me. I don't know him. And सब में से बस मैं और Gary, we are having the dinner. Okay.
Wow.
Up, and I literally took like hundreds of pictures. More than having the dinner, I was like, he is in front of me. Like, because when you start, and this was, I think, 2017. So I was like, this is a first time interaction with somebody who's of that level. And you can imagine, that
Wow.
you get starstruck.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and you are
Yeah,
having,
I know.
we are having dinner, and he's talking to me as if I'm his friend. And we talked everything about my business, from my family business to my individual startup to where I want to go to my content creation. And Gary is advising me one on one. We sat down for an hour. Like for an entire hour, we are having this conversation. And I shared this story on LinkedIn.
Get it in $1 million or
Yeah, you
get
can't
it
get
in
it.
$1
You exactly, you can't pay for it and get it. And there I asked him, Gary, now that you're suggesting me to start a podcast, why don't you become the guest on it? He said, no, I won't be the first one, I'll be the 15th one. You need to make 14 podcasts and then I'll be the one. Because if I be the first one, you're not going to continue making it. That was true. I made 14 podcasts. I got an opportunity to speak in New York University, Pace University, and I was there. So I was giving a speech there. And I wrote down to Gary and be like, I am in New York. I've recorded 14 podcasts. Let's record this. To my surprise, this guy replied. He remembered. He replied. We met in a nightclub. We recorded there. We had a huge conversation, and boom, I got a podcast with Gary Vee. Now,
wow.
The whole purpose, coming back to LinkedIn, I shared this on LinkedIn. Okay, and my friends, like the genuine story, बस ऐसे करके ही मैं मिला. And my friends called me up. Few of the friends who are from the startup world, who are generally good storytellers and content creators, though we are very good, deep at heart, like good friends. They called me up. They were like, Raj, क्यों genuinely तूने सच क्यों बता दिया कि यार तू ऐसे करके गैरी से मिला? चाम तो रखता कुछ. ये तो कोई भी मिल लेगा. इसमें क्या है? मैंने बोला यार, this is truth. बोलता भाई तू कुछ भी लिख सकता था. You could have said anything कि he saw the ability in me. I was mentored by Gary Vee. All of that, we were breaking down. He consulted me on my business 1 hour Saturday. Like any bullshit story I would have made up कि सिंगापुर में मैंने ऐसा कुछ बोला कि वो impress हो गया इसलिए उसने मुझे न्यूयॉर्क बुला लिया. I could have made up anything because I had social validation and social proofs as well of pictures and podcasts and everything. And I didn't do that. And my friends were like, they constantly, like 2 or 3 times, they're like, in simple words, they're like, tu hai, tere mein dimag nahi hai, you don't know how content creation works, you don't know how storytelling works, you need to be more sellable, like you need to write a better copy.
Right.
Today morning, I get notification my Instagram पे. बहुत सारे लोगों ने भेजा कि राज check Gary stories, Raj check Gary story. You know, I shared this story last week. एक हफ्ता हो गया ये सब इंस्टाग्राम और लिंक्डइन पे शेयर करे.
And
मैं
he
गैरी की
shared
स्टोरी
it.
देखी. Gary shared it on his Instagram story. Then I went on his LinkedIn. He shared it on his LinkedIn. Then I went on his Twitter. He shared on Twitter. I was like,
Wow.
boom. And that is
Wow.
what happens when you focus on your craft and when you're honest with it.
Yeah, so I think this is, the best example of, how simple things are. Like it
Exactly.
is as simple as saying hello. Like all our clients, people tell me, you ask me what do you do? I just
Yeah.
tell them basic things. I don't do anything complicated. I just tell them as basic things are possible. I think content creation needs to be honest. If you're telling people honest things, basic things, that's
Yeah,
amazing. But
you are going to
I
get
feel,
validation.
yeah, so the problem is like again, the question started from Forbes 30 under 30. And again, my answer is that it's nice to have, it's great to have. It makes me feel happy. It's an accomplishment in life that I can look back on, maybe a few years down the line. But it is not, it was something I was chasing at a certain point of time. Nothing was happening in my life. The moment I actually got to doing, the right things, chasing number, like I told you, I'm clear, I'm chasing numbers. Valuation आ जाएगा उससे
Hmm.
15-20 बिलियन डॉलर आना होगा, 10 आना होगा, 5 आना होगा, पता नहीं है. मैं उसको
Hmm.
चेज ही नहीं कर रहा हूँ कि मुझे 20 बिलियन डॉलर वैल्यूएशन की कंपनी बनानी है. मैं
मुझे
बहुत
सिर्फ
क्लियर हूँ,
बिलियन
मुझे
डॉलर
1 बिलियन डॉलर रेवेन्यू बनाना है, जिसका एक मिनिमम ग्रॉस मार्जिन है, एक नेट मार्जिन है, एक EBITDA है, एक match है उसकी, and I'm chasing that match.
Yep.
And these are the number of clients. This is what my platform does. This is the number of influencers. This is how much monthly income an influencer should generate, etc., etc. And all of that jazz will
Follow.
find its way. And
Yeah.
so this is, I think, what people don't do. Like the validation is important, but from the stakeholders of the business, and other validation will come.
This is where most of the people go wrong. That is what you're trying to say, in simple words. Yeah, and excellent story, because agar tu, I am assuming, I'm not saying that it's true, but अगर तू ये chase कर रहा होता and you would have hunted down Forbes 30 under 30 के editors को, कहीं ना कहीं से उनके सामने आने की कोशिश करता, and you would have not given that time to your product and honing that skill, honing that product, you wouldn't be able to get into that list.
हाँ, मतलब सी, मैं वही बोलता हूँ कि getting a meeting with you can reach out to the CEO of Jeff Bezos. अगर तुम्हें कुछ substance ही नहीं है उस meeting को convert करने का to
तो
something
क्या मतलब
valuable,
है?
तो वो wasted है. मतलब like you said, पता है, फोटो लेके आ जाओगे, मतलब post कर दोगे that I got a photo. But the interesting part is when you get that 1 minute, what your substance will define what happens next. So
Yeah.
that substance needs to be built. It won't be built over a day or two. It will take its time, and you need to focus all your time and energy on building
Yeah.
that substance into you, into the business, into your vision, and then that 1 minute will find you rather than you finding it.
Yeah, true. Now I have last two questions which I ask everybody. Okay, which I think जिससे मुझे याद रहता है पूछना, I ask them like whenever I'm in my own senses. So I asked them these two questions last time, in the last, and the first question is, how did you figure out like all of this business and entrepreneurship? You're an engineering person. You're as basic as me. You're from a small city. You belong to a family business. You belong to like you're just a young person. Like, dude, come on. Like, you're 27-year-old. इंजीनियरिंग माँ बाप का सपना था कि मेरा बच्चा कुछ बन जाए. बच्चे ने सोचा मैं सिविल इंजीनियरिंग करके अपनी DLF कंपनी खोलूंगा. you're as basic as you can be, पर तूने बहुत बड़ी बड़ी चीज़ें अचीव कर ली. So what was the figuring out process? How did you figure out, where did you learn all of this in simple words? Let's just say, where did you learn the business part of, where did you learn the product part of it? Where did you learn to think big? Where did you learn all the necessary skills of writing, like good communication or selling or raising money or negotiation or reaching out to people? Where did you learn all of this?
Yes, so see, ये सब ना, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने अभी शुरू करा और जल्दी जल्दी सब हो
No,
गया. So
I
this
get it.
started.
What I mean
Right,
is,
so-
like, is it through books? Is it through people? Is it through courses?
Yeah,
Is it
no,
through
so
degrees? What
I'll
is
tell
it?
you how I'll address some of the questions you asked. Right, like thinking big, I think nobody can really teach you. I genuinely think you can. It's what you have to find within. I told you that social network story. मेरे को उस
Yeah.
time zero नहीं आता था coding का. It was second year of college. I said, यार, मतलब this is my story. There was no substance to it, but dreaming big wasn't like a challenge, right? और मेरे को बचपन का एक वो याद है, मैं
So you found your.
hostel.
In simple words,
So
you found what? Wait, I cut down to your
no,
very
so
interesting
thinking,
story. You were in hostel. क्या?
yeah. So as a child, I think what's also grown me is मैं 4 साल बचपन में हॉस्टल में पढ़ा हूँ. So when I day zero, when I went to that school, uh, fourth class, I remember I'd go in. It was a huge palace kind of a hostel. It was massive. So मैंने जाते dad को बोला, मतलब my dad tells me that story, not that I remember it, but he tells me. He said the moment you entered, you said ये 100 crore का तो होगा. He's like I was shocked because one we were from a very small city in general. You're a fourth class का बच्चा who's going to school and तूने जाती वैल्यू लगा दी है स्कूल की कि 100 crore का तो होगा. So my point being is probably I feel that thinking big is not something that somebody taught me. It's just
Yeah,
something that's been a part
you
of
got
me.
it.
But say writing well. So I studied. I given my GMAT. I got a 730. I was trying to apply to Harvard Business School का एक 2+2 MBA program होता है while I was in college. So I gave 6 dedicated months in which I only did two things. I used to study whole day out of a Costa coffee shop in GK2, right? And शाम को मैं 2 1.5 घंटा जिम जाता था. तो जिम एंड उसके बाद वापस कॉफी शॉप जाता था, फिर बंद करवा के 12 बजे निकलता था और पूरा दिन कैफे में बैठ के मैं जीमैट की
पढ़ता था.
तैयारी करता था. पीपल यूज्ड टू फाइंड मी अ लिटिल ऑड बिकॉज कि कैफे पे जाके रोज 6 महीने रोज सेम रूटीन कोई कैसे कर लेता है. बट आई यूज्ड टू एंजॉय इट. मैं कैफे में देखता था दुनिया क्या कर रही है और
Yeah,
पढ़ता रहता था अपना मस्ती से. एंड आई did really well on overall. It was a good score, but I also learned a lot into articulation, writing well. A lot of my writing came from those 6 months because I realized कि Indians की English क्यों खराब होती है, कॉमा
yeah.
कहाँ गलत डालते हैं. सब अच्छे से समझ आया, राइट. क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग क्या होती है.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now those 6 months, while it didn't account for anything, but that taught me writing well. How reaching out to people in general again has been there as a child. I remember in ninth class I was in school. I called up Infosys for a tour. And I was chasing the Infosys office every day for 2 months कि मुझे Infosys का tour दे दो, मैं देखना था Infosys कैसा है. So in that sense I've always believed that I reach out to a lot of people. 100 में से किसी 2 का जोन होगा, सबका चाहिए भी नहीं. किसी 2-4
Yeah,
का जोन होगा जिसको बात करने का मन होगा. वो 2-4 लोग, so one of my mentors, I once saw him post something on LinkedIn. He's a CMO of a large enterprise. I reached out to him in 2017 saying आपका post देखा बड़ा सही था. Let's catch up. He replied, he said आजा मिलते हैं. And today we are such good friends. He manages over $200 million का yearly marketing spend. And
whoa.
he's the guy who taught me scale की problem क्या होती है. उस टाइम मेरे को लगता था स्केल तो इजी होता होगा कि पैसे ज्यादा हैं तो स्केल करना इजी है. बट
Yeah,
समझ आया पैसे ज्यादा हैं तो प्रॉब्लमैटिक है. वो पैसे कम है तो स्ट्रेस नहीं है. सो दीज आर थिंग्स दैट पीपल आई रीच्ड आउट, पीपल टॉट. सो so figuring out has been the course of engineering. Was also part of the plan. It was also a part of the plan of becoming that real estate
yeah.
business tycoon.
Baron,
It
yeah.
was not something that just happened itself. So the plan started a lot early, I'd say. It's just that I've been figuring out all my life. Now, why business being a 27-year-old is because my focus, my clarity, I told you, has always been there कि करना तो यही है. Like I don't see myself doing something else. मेरे को समझ ही नहीं आएगा मैं दिन में करूँ क्या अगर मैं business नहीं करूँगा. Like I don't know what to do with life then.
Yeah.
So it is where I belong. So I keep doing this all my life. I've done this
Do
for the
you
last 15 years.
Do you want to recommend any books or any courses, online courses or any institution for everybody who's listening so
So
that they can make their journey easier?
So I think my books again have evolved from time to time. Like now I read a lot more about B2B selling as opposed to early days when I was just reading about the basic startup books जो 0 to 1 से लेके सब
yeah,
लोग पढ़ते हैं कि
there.
startup की दुनिया क्या होती है versus अभी where I Crossing the Chasm करके एक book है which I've been reading, which is more about B2B selling. So my
Okay,
books have evolved to certain topics. Uh, but I think I'm a lot more of a blog guy. I read a
okay.
lot of expert people's blogs. It is quick to consume, works for me. It's quick to consume, on the move, जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ता हूँ, इम्प्लीमेंट भी करता हूँ. सो मेरा एक दूसरा तरीका है कि मैं सिर्फ पढ़ता नहीं हूँ, मैं जल्दी जल्दी जाके उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करता हूँ. देखता हूँ चला कि नहीं चला तो स्क्रैप करता हूँ, चला तो बढ़िया स्केल
Yeah,
करता
that's a
हूँ
good
और
way.
आगे
That's a good.
That's the best way. So one good blog and one good book on B2B selling. Blog for generally organization building. Which blog would you suggest?
So I read a lot of Neil Patel. I think that guy has built
Okay.
a great business. I
Yeah.
admire him for overall how and even HubSpot ka blog is really good. In fact, that's what I aim for building for One Impression, because it's really amazing on what
Yeah.
these guys have built. Uh, Book, I think lately, like
B2B.
B2B, I've been reading Crossing the Chasm, so which is what which is
Recommend.
what I like.
What is it again? Crossing
It's
the.
Crossing the Chasm.
Okay.
It is about how you sell to large organizations, how, because B2B selling is very
Different.
different and unique, yeah. And
Yeah.
as you go into different complex organizations, like the complexity of it continues to
Yeah.
increase.
I know, man. Like, I can totally get it. I know I've been struggling with B2B selling since now 5 months because how I told you, right? Like, the agency side of it, the business side of it. I used to get all the leads and used to get all the business by going there and speaking there in some organization. So, my keynote speaking was like a hook to get people in. Because if
It's a
But
somebody
piece.
I'll
sees
tell you
me,
one more book. I'll tell you one more book. Sorry, when you just mentioned about it, just came into my head. I think one
yeah,
book that everybody should read is Skin in the Game. One of my colleagues earlier recommended it to me. It was amazing. I
skin in
think
the
it
game.
teaches you a lot.
What is it about?
So I think so. It's about how, मतलब बहुत सिंपल एक स्टोरी बताता हूँ उस बुक की. तो ग्रीक्स के टाइम पे अगर कोई बिल्डर घर बनाता था, तो अगर उस घर में कोई मर गया घर के टूटने से, तो उस बिल्डर को मार देंगे, like they would kill that. So the builder, when he made the house, he knew he had to build it so strong, sturdy and solid, that because he's built hundreds of houses, that's his business, not even one of them could go wrong, even if it's an earthquake or anything, and nobody should die. So he had his skin in the game. He was vested
Yeah.
in making it right. He would not steal money from little things and would make sure it's right, because otherwise he'll be killed, right? So his skin was in the game. So when we look for our people in the organization, we look for those who skin in the game. And whatever, like, we tell brands, we tell them our skin is in the game, and this is the reason, like, why are we worried
Yeah.
about your success. And it teaches you a lot about how you could structure your life, your pitch, your story, your organization, whatever you're doing, so it reflects that यार तुम पे असर पड़ता है अगर कुछ गलत होता है. You're not just here for the upside, you are also part of the downside.
Downside.
And when you're part of the downside, you care about the upside, because everybody wants the upside.
Makes sense. I'm gonna definitely read it. मतलब मैं मेरे लिए read करूँ. I don't know what others. So,
काफी सही book है.
it's good. It sounds good as well. Yeah. And what was I telling? Like, I was gonna say something very nice, but
Okay.
Let it be.
Do you want to take a few seconds?
no, let it be. Let it be. It's fine. Coming back to the point is the last question. The question of the day is, what do you see next? Like, if it's Apaksh Gupta today starting a new business, where would you want to invest it? Where would you want to invest your time, money, or study? And assuming that you have no clue about this thing, you're going to start
Sure.
fresh. Because
So
if
I
you're
think,
starting fresh, why I say start fresh? Because if you're starting fresh, then it takes you at least a year to reach to the point where you're actually going to start everything.
No, correct. I think this is a great question, and I think a lot of people ask me कि यार मतलब क्या शुरू करूँ. So I think so the answer for me today, right now, if you're in India, I think consumer brands, I see, is probably one of the most interesting space that's evolving. India's building like a huge space for D2C brands to come. I know how many of them are coming. I see the rate at which they grow in no amount of time, and they become large. I think there's a lot of innovation that's already gone into fintech. A lot of money is gone there. A lot of money is gone into edtech. तो वहां पे कुछ करना अभी बहुत मुश्किल है, बिकॉज वहां पे जायंट्स हैं जो ऑलरेडी बहुत मनी लेके लगे हुए हैं. ऑफ कोर्स इनोवेशन is never limited. You might come up with something that I can't imagine. So that's completely a different ball game. But outside of that, I think as a clear short answer of being able to build a $1 billion business, I think D2C brand is probably a space that a lot of entrepreneurs are jumping into. It is a space that can cater to many. It's not a very it's not a space where only few can survive. It's a space where
Yeah.
many can
It's a
survive,
huge space.
and it's growing. It's where all the eyeballs are. So
Yep. So what do you see D2C for direct to customers, direct to consumers? Which particular, because D2C is a lot, like it's clothing as well, it's wine as well,
yeah, so
it's huge.
D2C mein, I think so the biggest category that COVID in general has given a push to is
Healthcare.
wellness, health. I think there is insane amounts of traction there. I've seen the brands that are growing. So health, wellness are definitely categories where I would consider jumping in and building a business. I think मेरे घर पे भी इसकी बहुत बात होती है, तो I'm also particularly more charmed
More
by
interesting.
the category, but I see a huge space
In health and
wellness.
wellness, D2C. Yeah, and how do you get into it? So this is the second part of the same question. Like, how do you get into it? I want to make it very easy for everybody who's listening, so that they get एकदम clear steps to start on right now. कि अब अगर मुझे पता है मुझे health and wellness में जाना है, मुझे D2C करना है, अब मैं क्या करूँ ऐसा जो मुझे which will give me right now?
So it's very simple, yaar. Again, and the simple answer is you need to figure out कि चलो ठीक है health and wellness में जाना है. Am I coming up with a new product? Am I going to replicate an existing product at a cheaper price? Am I going to replicate and innovate on the same product? तो बहुत ज़्यादा, yeah, am I going to solve say for transparency? जैसे one of the companies I recently met, वो घी बेच रहे हैं, बट उनका घी तुम ट्रैक कर सकते हो एग्जैक्टली कहाँ से इनिशिएट हुआ था, वो घी कहाँ बना है, थ्रू 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 चेन ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी. तो अमूल का भी घी खरीदते हो तुम, बट उनके घी they're growing like crazy because you can literally backtrack as to where it initiated, and it means to a lot to people. So more than the ghee, it's about where it initiated. If you think about it, like that's the story they're solving for. So you need to figure out what you're solving for. Are you solving for transparency of ingredients, quality of ingredients? One of the brands I was talking to, they're competing with a Horlicks. They are talking about hardcore ingredients, where they source those ingredients for, why are those ingredients important for health in the child, etc., etc. So you need to understand what you want to do within the space, and once you do it, then it's a lot about execution, right? अभी तुम्हें पता है कि यार इंडियन प्रोडक्ट्स में ट्रांसपेरेंसी नहीं है, ठीक है.
Yeah.
You get into figuring out ये कहाँ से करते हैं, मुझे कहाँ से लाना है, how will I assure transparency? Those are execution problems. But what you need to first figure out is, what are you solving? Is it some, like one of the beauty brands I use a lot these days, it's got combinations that I've never seen before. In fact, it's work. I'm not a guy who uses a lot of beauty products or wellness products, but it works so well that I've started using them, because the combinations also they sell. I haven't seen any brand
Doing it. Do you want to name it? Can you name it? Like, is it okay for you to name the brand?
I actually don't want to name it for the sake, because I think there are a lot of clients who compete with each other.
I get it. Post podcast, you can tell me. Okay.
But I'll tell you. I'll send you the link.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks, man. Like, this is interesting to to the core, where I don't even have words to explain like what I have learned from this, because it's a lot of self introspecting. It has a lot of good perspective to have about a lot of new things. And one thing which I absolutely loved about like apart from everything is you focus on D2C. Like, I am in that space. So I feel like getting validated at this point that yeah, FMCG and that this space is going to boom up, and I'm already in this space. I'm trying to do a lot, and I've built my entire world in this. Do you see any D2C? Do you see, because I see this in US and UK, a lot of influencers are coming up with their own FMCG brands and D2C spaces. Do you think there's a lot to be done in India as well?
Absolutely. So influencer starting brands is probably going to be one of the biggest things in the coming months and years, because they already have a brand, right? Now influencer commerce is probably what other brands are also trying to do. They're trying to associate with the influencer. Influencer marketing is all about driving commerce through that influencer.
Yeah.
So some of the so there's a gin brand that recently Ryan Reynolds sold,
Yep.
which
Yep.
is again like if you saw Kylie Jenner, of course, sold a
Yep.
massive
Yep.
beauty brand. So
Gary Vee also like came up with empathy wines.
empathy,
A lot
right?
of people, yeah.
So I think influencers starting large brands is probably going to be one of the biggest trends in the coming months and years. And in fact, one that we are trying to also invest into ourselves and figure out how do we capture on that trend in general.
Oh, lovely. Thanks a lot, man. This was a beautiful podcast. This was insightful. This had a lot of inspiration in it and a lot of ground level reality, realistic stories for people to actually think about and start doing it. And from your story, one thing which I want everybody to, think about is think about one industry, think about one product, and get massively obsessed about it and just keep working on it. Over the time you will realize that okay, maybe this is for me or this is not for me. If it's not for me, then the experience is going to teach you so much that you will be able to open a new thing, which is what happened in your thing. You were fascinated by meetup, then you started a restaurant business, and then from restaurant came Zomato, then from Zomato came summer label कि okay ऐसा हम लोग क्लोथिंग के लिए कर सकते हैं, from summer label to influencer marketing, from influencer marketing to the point where you are today. And it's all connecting the dots. It's from one place to another. It's not about chasing the $1 billion at one go. तुम्हारा रास्ता तो 1,000 रुपए से ही जाएगा या 1 लाख रुपए होते हुए ही जाएगा. A beautiful line by you. Thanks for doing this. It was worth the wait. इतने टाइम तक हम लोग रुके, इतना back and forth हुआ, but it was worth it. I loved every inch of it.
No, really glad. Yeah. This is my first ever video chat with I think anybody at all at such length, because I think very camera shy. I don't click my messages a lot. So although I'm in the business of content, I think it's just something that I'm still getting accustomed to. But thanks for I think having me. This is lovely conversation, and I know I've really pulled this for a few months. But I think I've been able to manage getting here and being like, hey.
Yes, finally. But you have to pay for it. मैं तुझे इतना irritate करने वाला हूँ for getting the tips, for getting the understanding and doing a lot of stuff together as well in many spaces.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You will pay for all the delay which you have caused.
Don't worry, I'm happy to pay it in that format.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Thanks.